Hello again. This is numeral 2. That's right, dos. Dos, our second video from the second, wow, long day, the 2-month anniversary of Pop as a channel. And Sir Owen Disney here again with AJ, and we talked about our best in the last video. Now we're going to talk about the other extreme. The worst movies of 2013 as of this very moment. So, before we get started, as usual, we're going to say a little bit about each movie, and before we get started with our top 10s, we're going to do a dishonorable mention in this case. And I'm going to go with AJ first, like we do normally. AJ, what is your dishonorable mention for 2013 thus far?
Something I've already reviewed to the camera, so I'll just touch on it a little bit again.
Okay.
My honorable mention is Zan Cassavetes' vampire movie, Kiss of the Damned.
Yeah, you hate that movie.
This is Cinemax softcore porn on a theatrical screen, complete with the horrible acting, the weird sex scenes that are just uncomfortable, the redundant, pointless plot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the whole plot is just this girl brings people into their house and she kills them, and she's a vampire, and it just goes and goes, and people say stupid shit, people do stupid shit, and the whole movie is a waste of time and pain in, I didn't want to rhyme, but brain.
Yeah. Not pain in the brain, pain in brain, because he's that dumbfounded by how bad the movie is. Waste of money and time is probably going to be a phrase that's going to be used a lot in this video, especially by me.
My hands look huge when they get too close. That might just be this angle.
It might be, if it's possible, and I'll just tweak the shirt here, my Wade Barrett shirt here. Since I didn't get to mention we talked about Dead Man Down for AJ's best list. I'm putting over Wade Barrett, so there you go. My dishonorable mention is also a WWE film, and it's The Call.
Yeah.
The Call, okay, for those of you that don't know, the entire movie, including the final scene, mind you, is in the trailer for The Call. There is no surprises in this movie at all. None.
Not to mention that the entire first half is ripping off. There is a very little seen Nicolas Cage movie from last year called Stolen.
Yeah.
And the entire first half of The Call was taken exactly from that movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I do want to say, I obviously had to bring up Wade Barrett before talking about Dead Man Down. I want to bring up David Otunga, actually. Otunga plays a cop with Morris Chestnut, which we're talking about first now, and we'll talk about him later in the most anticipated video that's coming up.
He's in this video again later, too.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, no lie. So, very soon, actually. So, basically, he's really good in the movie. I mean, he doesn't have much to do, but just like Wade Barrett, he does well with what he has. So, I mean, the movie is just laughably bad. Laughably bad. And we watched this movie with, was it 2 ladies that just, like, dug the heck out of it?
They were in love with it.
Oh my god, they thought it was incredible. It's like, oh my god, it's so scary. It's so scary. I'm just going to jump. And I was like, no, how about I just jump and throw a bag over your head or something? Because you just have no taste in film. Stop.
You were sitting right behind her. You could have.
I know I could have, but I kind of work there, so I can't really do that. I don't want to lose my job.
They wouldn't have seen you.
Yeah, that's true.
You came from behind and it's dark.
It's already done. So, yeah, that horrible, horrible line from the trailer that we've heard 1,000 times. We've seen the trailer 1 billion times. It's kind of like, it's weird because WWE films have this kind of deal where the trailer is on everything. Everything. If you have a WWE films release, it's pretty guaranteed to be on most, like, generic action films throughout the year. And this was no different. I like Halle Berry. I do. This movie's god-awful. You want to see Halle Berry in a performance that is kind of memorable? Watch Monsters Ball. Watch Gothica. I like Gothica, actually, personally. I know. But, yeah, watch these movies. I mean, God, watch her as Storm in the X-Men movies. I mean, anything. Just stay the hell away from this movie. It's not good at all. And I really wanted to put it on my absolute worst list, but there's so many worse movies in this, and there's 10 of them, and we're going to talk about them in a little bit. So, my dishonorable mention is The Call. AJ, number 10.
My number 10 worst movie so far this year brings us right back to Halle Berry. And her weird fake tits to make guacamole.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's movie 43.
Yeah.
This was proclaimed by critics as one of the worst movies ever made when it came out.
Yes. And that was its claim to fame, folks.
I'll start off by saying there are a couple of good scenes.
Yep.
The stuff with Liev Schreiber and Naomi Watts is good.
Kieran Culkin and Emma Stone.
And Kieran Culkin and Emma Stone. But
That's it.
apart from that, it was made over the span of 4 years because people couldn't get deals made and actors wanted to back out. Some actors were forced to do this because for various reasons.
I want to know what kind of blackmail was involved in this movie. There had to be a lot of it.
This movie is so uncomfortable and so just unbearably not funny.
It's not good at all.
And it's just awkward from beginning to end, especially the absolute worst. Well, the balls on Hugh Jackman's chin thing.
The very first segment of the entire movie
was just. I mean, it's a big reveal when he pulls the scarf off.
Yeah. But
I was just dumbfounded through the whole segment, and it went on for like 10 minutes.
Everyone else, other than us in the theater, was just like laughing hysterically.
And then, the
whole time.
Yeah, all 3 people that were in there.
Exactly.
Because the movie made like $2.
Delgo made more money.
But what some people don't see if they run out of the theater too fast is midway through the credits we see James Gunn's sketch, which stars Josh Duhamel and Elizabeth Banks, and it involves an animated cat that is sexually obsessed with Josh Duhamel.
Yes.
And it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
Without question. The credit sequence is kind of a giveaway because you see that listed in the credits, and then
and then they show
then it starts playing. Yeah. It's typical James Gunn too. It's just out there and like crazy.
This movie is frightening in all the wrong ways.
Yes.
And the Liev Schreiber and Naomi Watts stuff would not have been funny
if it was someone else.
Like because it's Liev Schreiber and Naomi Watts is what makes it funny. Like I said, the Halle Berry thing goes on way too long, and it's weird and not. I mean, it's kind of funny when she blows the blankets candles out, but and the Terrence Howard thing had a few. There were a few funny things that he said. Yeah, but for the most part, the superhero speed dating thing is one of the most excruciating things I've ever sat through, and I thought that sketch alone was going to go on forever. Yes, and I can't even remember the rest of the movie. I feel like Patton Oswalt. Oh God, I hate the Chris Pratt thing. Yeah, but not good. Stay away. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It's got enough of a reputation in itself. I don't need to make it any farther. Movie 43 is god awful, but it did not make my list because I thought of 9 other movies that were worse than this movie. My number 10 is Temptation. Yeah. Okay. If you remember me reading this review very uncomfortably, mind you, this movie was really hard to bear in a lot of different ways. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to go into those ways because we don't talk about that stuff here. But I will say it is an excruciatingly bad movie. Okay. I hate Tyler Perry movies. Hate Tyler Perry movies. He has not made a good one. But there are directors that make movies that are like Tyler Perry movies that are 10 times better than anything he could ever do. Temptation is just, it's awkward. And like in every single way it's awkward. He's made much worse movies. But I agree with that. He has. But I mean, it's not good at all. I mean, I hate the Medea movies are some of the worst pieces of garbage I've ever seen in my life. They really are. And I really wish that Martin Lawrence didn't start this. We've been through this. Eddie Murphy. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. Yeah, okay. I really wish that Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence didn't start this like train of dressing up in drag. I mean, it works if it's Robin Williams and Mrs. Doubtfire. That works. But this is terrible, terrible, terrible crap. And it's too long too. It's way too long. It was about 2 hours? Yes. And it has the bookend story. Yeah. Where you're supposed to be surprised that it's her life that she was telling, but But no, you're not, because you are an intelligent moviegoer because you're watching this video. And so, yeah. It lets you know that if you even remotely have thoughts about cheating on your husband, it's not a good thing to cheat on your husband. But Tyler Perry seems to think that God will hate you, the devil will take over you, and you will get HIV and almost be murdered.
Yes. Very true.
And end up alone and old with HIV.
Well, you were murdered, so how would you end up alone and old?
I said it almost murdered.
Okay. So you're like comatose.
Yeah.
You have HIV.
It's all the Tyler Perry cliches.
Dear God.
It's all the Tyler Perry cliches brought together.
It's the worst of all the worlds. It's everything Tyler Perry does in one movie. And that makes it terrible. So, like I said, my number 10 is Temptation. Excuse me.
Number 9?
Yes.
My number 9 is the start of a long trend of really bad horror movies this year.
Yeah.
The first of which I will speak of is my number 9, which is Dark Skies.
Okay, sorry. Just visual aid for you guys.
So, Carrie Russell's getting terrorized by, I guess, spoiler alert, aliens. And
they're really out there, folks. And it's not James Franco either.
And get this.
I thought you'd like that. Go ahead.
I hear somebody calling for bikinis and big booties in the darkness.
Exactly. That would have been a lot better movie.
But, you know, like, birds fly to her house and they die.
She bangs her head against the wall.
But you see, these are particularly scary aliens. These wipe the floor with the aliens and signs. Here's what they do. They may be able to come through doors, but what they do is they come into the house, they eat all the vegetables, they rearrange shit in the kitchen, and they take the pictures out of the frames. And that's what they do.
They're vegan kleptos.
When we first see the vegan thing never comes back either.
No, it doesn't.
What happens is when we first see Carrie Russell walks in, she sees the pictures are out of the frames, and it like plays this big music, and it's a whole full shot of the living room.
Yeah. I
didn't even know what the fuck we were looking at.
No.
Until they zoomed in on the picture frames and the pictures were gone.
This movie, I'm not gonna lie to you, this trailer made me laugh out loud. And horror movies should not do that.
And you always have your token character actor who comes in and explains everything, and in this case, it's J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons this time. Not Richard Jenkins, J.K. Simmons.
Juno's dad.
Yes.
Garth Pancake.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes. Like you said, it's the internet, so all of these could be people they remember.
So, yeah, this movie is hysterical.
Yeah, I laughed out loud. It was like, so, that guy right there, that's great.
Yeah, you have your token horror movie nosebleed that means nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Carrie Russell banging her head against glass, like.
Yeah. And then she wakes up with no recollection of it.
Yeah, of course not. No idea what's going on. Okay, my number 9 actually is a movie that, wow. Okay. The Wayans Brothers, I was a big fan of In Living Color, and everyone has gone on to damn near nothing, with the exception of Jim Carrey and David Alan Grier. Because we'll talk about him later on, actually. There's a couple of people that went on. Thankfully, Damon Wayans had a short career. I really wish he'd come back. I really do. Damon Wayans is very badly missed right now.
Yeah.
I like the first Scary Movie. I like the concept of Scary Movie.
Well, hang on a second. Are you talking about people who succeeded after In Living Color?
Yeah.
Okay, where's Jamie Foxx?
I forgot about Jamie Foxx and Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez was a fly girl. And then look what she did. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Jennifer Lopez as an actress, but I mean, Jamie Foxx, obviously, he's a Best Actor winner. So yeah, there you go. So Jamie Foxx, Jim Carrey, and Jennifer Lopez have all went on to greatness, and everyone else has kind of just faded out into obscurity. So the Wayans family were famous for like doing like what David Zucker style like spoof movies. And their latest one was not even the Wayans Brothers this time. Marlon decided he wanted to do something on his own. And
Marlon disowned this on Twitter.
Yeah, and after he did it, he decided, I don't want anything to do with this. So, this PA ripoff called A Haunted House. And, oh my god.
Well, this is about a haunted house?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, we'll talk. No, that's
you were going somewhere.
That's a whole lot higher on this list, trust me. Yeah, Haunted House is not good either. I hate paranormal movies. I really do. I mean, I get that you might get scared by them, and they could be very startling, and that's what these movies are. They're very startling. But, like, a spoof movie of a paranormal movie? No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all.
It could.
It could work under, like, good direction and good, like, script writing, but...
and in the span of, like, half an hour.
Yeah. It'd be a good short. Maybe. We'll go with that. Yeah, Haunted House is bad. I've seen worse this year. Obviously, that's the reason why it's so low on the list. But there was a time I could have had it a lot higher than this. But I thought about it and I was like, yeah, it's bad. But, there's a lot of stuff. Like I said, there's 8 movies that are worse than this today.
Well, since I thought you were talking about something else, let me clear up. Marlon Wayans did not disown this movie on Twitter. In fact, he's making a sequel that comes out at the beginning of next year.
Yeah.
There's another movie later that he did disown on Twitter.
There we go. Okay, fine. He did disown something that we're going to talk about later. And I'm sure we're both talking about this movie later. Yeah. I didn't like A Haunted House at all. I mean, it's one of those movies that kind of like I hate these movies. Everyone in the theater is laughing but you.
There are a few scenes that are really funny.
There's a couple scenes that get you.
I thought his I left my proton pack in the car line is really funny.
That's funny. PS lines are always funny.
And even though I'm not much, I think stoner humor is really done to death now. First, the scene where they get stoned with the ghost is hilarious.
Yeah. And of course,
Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah, Cedric the Entertainer is the best part of the movie, without question. He's the reason why this movie is not higher than it is.
Even though they milk a Pulp Fiction joke, which I take personally, so
I totally understand that. So yeah. So without going any further into the story, I'm going to say that my number 9 is A Haunted House. AJ, number 8.
My number 8 is another outing from somebody I'm really starting to hate. I mean, this guy was great.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. My number 8 is Rob Zombie's Lords of Salem,
which I've still not seen.
Which Sherry Moon, his wife, is a radio jockey.
Okay.
And it's her, Ken Foree, and some other guy.
Got it.
And they run the show, and she gets she's actually like, I think she's like in this. It's like the descendants of witches.
Okay.
Hence the Salem thing.
Got it.
So she gets this record, and it says it's from the Lords, and she assumes that the Lords is just an indie band. So she puts it in, and
first mistake.
The tune that it plays, it's kind of a haunting tune that Zombie, I think, composed himself. But,
of course.
But it makes her see the visions of what happened to the witches and all that. And there's a really great performance in it by Bruce Davison, who is the guy that the one guy she can trust that is trying to figure things out for her.
Yeah.
Who may or may not be ill-fated when he finds out too much.
It's usually how it works.
This movie is so ridiculous. Rob Zombie made 2 masterpieces in a row with House of a Thousand Corpses, and its sequel, The Devil's Rejects, is his magnum opus. It probably always will be.
The Devil's Rejects is an amazing film.
But since he remade Halloween, which was fine, but Halloween 2 is one of the worst movies ever made.
He hates that movie.
And Lords of Salem doesn't go to the horrible, horrible depths that Halloween 2 did, but it's still pretty bad. I will say in his defense that he wanted to, his reasoning of it was he wanted it to be like if Ken Russell directed The Shining.
That's a very interesting way.
And he's actually really good at recreating these a Ken Russell vibe or these. Mm-hmm. There's a scene where she goes into this. It's a weird place. It involves this giant deformed baby or something. I lost it by this point, but there's it's this magnificent.
On the list.
It's this magnificent set, and it does look right out of a Kubrick movie.
Okay.
So he knows what he wants, and he knows how to get it, but his direction of horror and his writing don't work. When he should cut, he keeps lingering to just beat you over the head with the point. Mm. And when those goddamn musical cues that ruin what could be an effective scene. He's horrible about that now. And
it's a shame.
There was, this movie could have been, this, it'll probably be a cult classic down the road, but.
I don't know, a lot of the people that they're really big fans of Zombie that I've read on the Horror Nights message boards, they don't like Lords of Salem at all.
It's very, it feels self-conscious, and I know that's overused, but.
Yeah.
It does. And you can tell he's trying to be he's doing that thing where he's trying too hard to be shocking instead of actually being shocking. Like, I don't know, with some of the visuals and the way the witches goes. I will say Patricia Quinn is in it.
Mm-hmm.
And, as I wrote in the early review, I'll just say her lips might look a little familiar.
You are wearing magenta today, so it does make sense.
So, yeah, that's just... Rob Zombie needs to get his shit together.
Or stop.
Yeah. But he's gotta... If he's gonna get his shit together, at this point, he's gotta really, really work to get his shit together.
He still makes great music, though. But maybe he might need to go back to that.
I don't know.
Can he act? I've never seen... I don't think he can. I don't think he has.
But, I think writing and directing something as great as House of a Horse and the Devil's Rejects, that might have been, all he had.
Yeah, he only had 2 good movies in the tank, and that's it.
I don't know, maybe he can
still come back.
Like I said, though, with the way he recreated the Kubrick feel and the Ken Russell feel, if he wants to be an homage-like director like Tarantino, he's got a lot to go, but if he just put more work in actually learning how to direct horror the right way, he'd be more successful.
Agreed.
So that's that.
Alright, number 8. Yeah, you're gonna have to help me a little bit on this one because I remember disliking this movie, but I don't remember much about it. My number 8 is The Big Wedding.
Ooh.
The Big Wedding is bad.
Mm-hmm. Let me know when you want me to start.
Yeah, please do. I like Amanda Seyfried. I do.
The Big Wedding actually is not on my list, but I can.
It was close.
I can talk about it.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, for starters, when the movie starts, it just starts, and you feel like you're in the... It's almost... I felt... We were actually in there really early, because the movie started late. Mm-hmm. But it starts in such a weird place. I felt like we had walked in the middle of it.
Yeah, I get that vibe.
And, God bless Susan Sarandon.
Yes.
For being the saving grace of so many bad movies. Because she's just, like I said, I'm just falling in love with her every movie she's in now.
Jeffrey Lives at Home definitely brought her completely to the front of your list.
But, everything else, like, this movie just has a lot of horrible things wrong. Like, they do that thing where they're trying to be overly raunchy.
It's bad, too.
Like, people were surprised when it got rated R, because it looks like your generic PG-13 thing.
Nope.
But, Dead Stop number 1, Katherine Heigl's in it. That's just your death certificate immediately.
She's very pretty, but she's not the greatest actress.
They try to make it dirty by saying, like, using profanity, like saying fuck a lot. And there's a lot of suggested sex. Like, we hear Danke and De Niro, like, banging all night. And then there's this plot with Topher Grace, who's 29 years old and trying desperately to lose his virginity.
Yep.
So he does everything he can to, like, serenade this girl. And then they suddenly, with no transition at all, this suddenly turns into a 29-year-old trying to get laid to a deep love story. And
yeah, that doesn't work.
And then, yeah, that's a problem, especially with the Heigl subplot. They do all this, hey, let's be raunchy, and hey, let's be crude, and then, they fail to be funny every single time. It's not funny at all. And then suddenly, they try to have these really deep, dramatic moments, and it's just, fuck you.
Robin Williams doing his same shtick as he did in License to Wed.
Yeah, only drunk.
Yeah. Drunk Robin Williams.
And, you politically correct people out there will be really offended by this movie when, at the very end, Christine Ebersole is revealing a secret. And apparently, the writer of The Big Wedding thinks that bisexuality is a fetish.
Unbelievable.
So, because she's revealing that she's bisexual, and she says, well, I have a fetish of my own, and then she starts, like, lusting after a woman.
Not a fetish, people. There's a weird scene where they show up in the grocery store, and they go, like, swimming in the nude, and that's a big secret, too, and then they find out. And
that is a plot point stolen from Peyton Place.
Yeah. Yeah, not a good movie at all. I'm sure there's people out there that are watching this video that didn't see it. Probably people out there that might have liked it.
Hopefully you were watching Pain and Gain instead.
Yeah, you should have been watching Pain and Gain. Exactly. Truth be told, Big Wedding and Pain and Gain were the first movies that were built by I did Built, Painted, Gain, and Lindsay built Big Wedding, so yeah. The first official projection movies that we built as projectionists.
Number 7?
Yeah. Number 7.
My number 7 is the sequel to a movie that I actually liked that I didn't think I would. And this sequel does everything wrong that the first one did right, and that's The Last Exorcism Part 2.
Oh, God. Last Exorcism was actually really good.
For starters, everybody knows that the found footage thing is played out.
I hate found footage movies, yeah.
But Last Exorcism made it work, and made it freakier. And
it's funny, too.
Then they pull a Blair Witch, and the sequel is not that way. The sequel is the...
It's played straight.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And pretty much everything, like I was talking about with Rob Zombie, pretty much everything you're not supposed to do as a horror director, this movie does.
Yes.
There is a jump scare every 30 seconds. Like, there is, like...
That's probably not an exaggeration, either.
She will be standing there in the room, and somebody will be standing next to her, and she'll turn. That person's already on camera, and she'll turn and see that person, and then they'll play the chord, and she jumps. There's even a part where she
musical stings.
There's even a part for no goddamn reason where she walks outside, and there's a dog behind a fence that barks at her, and they use that as a jump scare, and they're so desperate.
Jump scares are such a crutch nowadays.
Not to mention, the opening is another possessed girl, I guess, who, like, they do that old thing where the guy and the girl are in bed, and the girl gets up to go to the bathroom, and then something crawls into bed with him, and he thinks it's her. And that scene doesn't go anywhere, and it never comes back.
Nope.
We don't know who those people were or what the purpose of that scene was.
And she's trying to live her life over again, all of a sudden her supposed friends, who are not really friends in the first place, they are watching the video of her exorcism, and they're like, look at this, ha ha ha! She's like the butt of all the jokes, too, and it's like, great friend base she has now.
Well, that just kept going back and forth. Like, they've never met this girl in their life, and the first thing they say when they meet her is, freak.
Freak.
It's like, I know bullying is a big deal, but who really does that?
In the 2000s, who does that?
Yeah, there's this weird subplot with this this guy that she seems to... It's a guy that she seems to have known for years, but,
He's the one that kind of shows up randomly during the movie.
We never learn who he is. He's the kid from Gladiator.
Yeah. But he's the guy that shows up in the background.
But,
I might be thinking of the wrong movie, but...
But yeah, everything the first one did right, this one did wrong.
Yeah, totally.
That's pretty much as far as you can take that.
Alright, my number 7. Okay. It took a long time to really warm up to this guy, to be totally honest. And I was really excited, I was really happy. Our Idiot Brother came out, and Paul Rudd became awesome in my eyes. And I really liked him in Anchorman, and he was kind of, he did a couple movies that really weren't good, in my mind, and a lot of other people's minds. But he came out with this film called Admission.
Oh.
And it's Paul Rudd and Tina Fey. And for those of you that understand Tina Fey's the way she writes, she's really good as a writer. She's an awesome writer. She's a writer on Saturday Night Live. I don't know if she still is or not. I think she stopped. Didn't she?
I think when she left the show, she left everything.
Yeah, she's completely done.
I don't know for a fact.
And of course, she went on to claim with 30 Rock and everything, and she was in Mean Girls. Didn't she help write Mean Girls too? Partially.
She wrote it herself.
Okay, so she wrote Mean Girls, so that's like comes back as well. She's a great writer. I will say right now that her acting, it could be really good. This movie just nothing there. I mean, her and Paul Rudd together in a movie, it should have been a whole lot better than it was. It really should have been.
This movie is dead.
Yeah, the movie is nothing. It's just like it's boring.
It's actually more of a drama.
Yeah,
they try to be more of a drama.
Yeah, the forced drama.
That scene where Paul Rudd has that statue. I think it's a horse statue or something.
I believe so.
And he's trying to make this point that he's got like this. Well, it was like an adopted black kid. I think.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to prove a point. He said like, I've had this statue for years and it means everything to me. And then he breaks it and he's like, he does it to prove a point, and the kid's not even fazed by it, and that never even comes back. It's like,
no.
what the fuck was that?
And then it's kind of like apparently she gave her kid up for adoption, and this kid may possibly be her long-lost son, and he's in the school that Paul Rudd teaches at. It's just kind of like, it's one of those alternative schools that they're not really there yet. They're just trying to get more recognition for it, and they're trying to get them into the four-year colleges.
It's really weirdly directed.
It's
like
not good.
Like the scenes where they're doing the ones where she's, like saying, like those little boardroom scenes where they're trying to decide who's accepted and who isn't. And
exactly.
They do these weird directorial techniques, and it's like, are you trying to make it flashy because you realize how fucking boring this whole thing is?
It's not good. It's not funny. It's just like, even everyone in the theater was just like dead silent. It's just like no one was is into this movie at all. So yeah. Another movie that really got me really hyped for Paul Rudd was Wanderlust, and Wanderlust was an awesome movie that most people have skipped out on, but you shouldn't have. It was awesome.
I'm gonna put my dick in you.
My dick. He just looks at the mirror and says it over and over again. And it's really funny because it gets even better on the gag reel. So yeah, my number 7 is Admission. Number 6, AJ.
Take a look at my erection selection to the Dickie Mart.
So great. Paul Rudd's awesome in that movie.
Oh god.
Love Wanderlust.
Number 6 is a terrible film.
Yes. I'm sure it is.
My number 6 is the horror anthology. It's not really horror. It's half horror, half whatever the fuck. Anthology, The ABCs of Death.
Really?
Yes.
That kind of shocks me that would be on there, because you seem to dig some of it. I read the review that you wrote.
I almost vomited about 15 times when I watched this movie.
Yes.
Okay, first off, it's portrayed like a horror movie. The poster is a baby, and it's this giant, I guess it's the Grim Reaper, it's this giant black cloaked thing behind it. But
that's an awesome visual, first off.
A lot of these are not horror related. Some of them are even comedic. Some of them are claymation, some of them are animated, some of them are just weird artsy things.
Yeah.
Some of them are sci-fi. There are a few that are fun. There's one that's really funny where the guy has a talking parrot, that mimics everything he says. And the parrot is mimicking, he's just proposed to his girlfriend and she's just said yes.
Yeah.
And then the parrot starts mimicking another girl's voice and, screaming his name.
That's hilarious.
So the girl picks up a knife and stabs him.
That's great. As his first stab.
There was, another popular one was the claymation one with the Death by Toilet.
Yeah.
Which was, it's funny, but it's dark. And there's some that are just off the wall that aren't even worth mentioning, and there's some that are just flat out disgusting. Like the girl that's way too fat. She's really, really obese. So to lose all her weight, she goes into the bathroom and makes herself puke over and over again. And then she cuts all the skin and fat off herself, and she's just this, for 5 seconds before she dies, she's this completely skinned alive skinny woman, and it's really fucking disgusting.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
And there's this it came off really pretentious after a while. It was a good idea at the start, but then it turned it into this pretentious message thing. But it's a guy that they keep in a hospital, and they're taking fragments of his skin off at a time.
Like skin grafts, stuff like that? And
they're taking his skin and making reels of film out of them. And, that turned into some, I have something important to say thing.
No.
But then there's disappointing ones, like the Ty West one. The Ty West one is 30 seconds long. And it's a woman that, it's a pregnant woman on the toilet. And her toilet gets clogged. And when she plunges it, she realizes that she had a miscarriage in it. And that's the whole segment. It's only 30 seconds long.
Wow.
Because Ty West is a very talented horror director. He knows what he's doing. It's almost like he didn't give a fuck about this.
I don't think he did it. I think someone wrote it for him, and it's kind of yeah.
But then the most disturbing that I still can't get out of my head is probably the next to last one, Why? Where this bald guy with Steve Buscemi eyes times 3. They're just popping out of his head. And he is a pedophile. And he watches, not only does he take kids out in the woods and rape them, he's the janitor at the school. and these kids are playing basketball, and they're sweating all over the place. And it's, oh god.
We don't want to go any further than that.
We get this long shot of him after the game has been played, and he's on this bench, and he's licking the sweat off the benches.
It's so disgusting.
This movie went way too far on many occasions, and it was...
Sometimes going too far is a good thing. In this case, it's not.
If ever there's a movie I'll probably never watch again, it would be this one.
All right, number 6. I'm just going to say it right now. It's like a Band-Aid. 21 and over. I really didn't like this trailer. Okay, for those of you that watched the cinematic piece of garbage that was Project X, and for those of you that like that movie, number 1, I have a serious problem with you. We cannot be friends. Number 2, these party movies just suck. They're terrible.
They're a horrible message, too.
Yeah, they're a bad message. Like, let's drink, let's get stoned, let's get high, let's go have sex with random people. I mean...
With no consequences.
Exactly. Oh, sorry, I didn't know the voice was still there. But, I didn't mean to do that, I promise. But yeah, it's bad. And, okay, Miles Teller is funny. He's not funny in this movie. But he does have a couple lines.
He's trying so hard to be Jonah Hill and Superbad.
Oh, yeah,
This movie is terrible about the, Apatow syndrome of, let's just say stupid shit to try to get people to quote us.
Yeah.
And they try so hard with that just over and over. That's all this movie's dialogue is one-liners they're trying to get people to quote.
And trying to get the guy, obviously, who's like the scholar who has a...
Jeff Chang.
Yes. He has a dad that obviously disapproves of everything he does, and he wants him to be a model citizen. And
a doctor.
He wants to be, exactly, he wants him to be a doctor and do everything, but he has to go out on his 21st birthday and get faced. So yeah, it's time for him to get drunk with his buddies and party.
The writers and directors of this are the writers of the original Hangover.
That's probably the reason right there. So yeah, that's not a good movie at all. Didn't it escape the vomit scene though? Didn't it escape the vomit scene though?
It's got one.
I thought it
did.
It's
a bar.
Oh yeah.
It was in the trailer actually, the Red Band trailer.
I obviously didn't see the Red Band trailer, so. Yeah.
We're just going to keep going because my number 5 is 21 and over.
No, good. That's good. We'll go right to 5 in a minute.
They do this ridiculous love story with, what's his name? He was the guy in Pitch Perfect, I think. Skylar Astin, I think.
Skylar Astin, that's his name.
He's got this dumbass love story where the girl already has a boyfriend. But of course, that guy's a douchebag jock, so eventually she's going to break up with him.
That's how it works, folks. In movies. In movies only.
And of course, you know... The only reason this love story exists is so we can have the...
pad the runtime.
Yeah, it's...
That's the real answer.
Just as you think the movie ends, oh yeah, this is one more thing we got to clear up. He's got to go get the girl. Well,
so we have another 25 minutes of pointless dialogue.
Speaking of padding running time, this movie's centerpiece is this game in this fraternity house. I don't know, fraternity houses are usually, what, 2 floors at least?
Yeah, normally.
Yeah, there's 8 floors. And the game is there's a drinking game on each floor, and you have to win and then progress. And this goes on for a long time. And then it's not, they build it up like it's the big deal. And then when they spend like 10 to 15 minutes on this one scene, and then when they finally get to the top, they don't even get what they're going up there for.
Nope.
And this whole thing just feels like a waste of time.
Yeah, completely.
And everything in it is rehashed. From stealing from Judd Apatow, from, you know, just mooching off Project X some more.
Beer Fest.
Yeah.
Definitely Beer Fest.
That's something that was deleted from Beer Fest.
Yes. The Broken Lizard did not like that, so that's the reason why it was deleted.
Yeah, Dejan Sekar should sue them.
Yeah, totally. And he'd win, too, because he's awesome. And they're not.
I want to get away from this movie now so you can do your number 5.
5. I told you we'd talk about In Living Color later on in this review, and I'm not going to lie, folks, we're talking about Peoples. Yes. Oh my god. This movie hurt. This, like, literally hurt me to like, talk about it, like, to watch this movie. This movie is a straight rip-off of Meet the Parents. Even the Mylar is a straight font from Meet the Parents.
In color.
What?
In color.
Yeah, exactly. It is just...
The predicaments and the setups.
Everything is identical. It's like, the guy...
Oh, but it's if Meet the Parents was extremely, extremely unfunny.
Yeah.
If you can imagine.
Kerry Washington has a boyfriend, and this guy, the parents don't know about him. They don't know he exists.
You want to say Craig Robinson's name?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we talk about Craig Robinson every once in a while. So yeah, they're together. They seem very happy together, but David Alan Grier does not know. And what, Diane Carroll, that's who it was? I think.
Yeah.
The diva from like the back in the day that had the awesome headdress. Yeah, awesome. We talked about Peoples way too long on the video we had before, so I don't want to do it anymore. Basically, the movie's really bad. I think that's the movie Afion Crockett's in too. He's got that slight scene like midway through the movie. But I might be wrong. It might be something else I'm thinking about. But yeah, Peoples was not good.
Avion Crockett was in a haunted house.
Okay, that's what I meant to say. Sorry. He's got the... Yeah, okay. I know.
Where's all your shit, cuz?
Yeah, that's right, yeah. These movies all run together, to be totally honest. So yeah, People's
I'd have put People's online, but I didn't have room.
Yeah, what's number 5? Well, sorry. We're on 4 for you, aren't we?
4 is another movie I already reviewed on camera, and that is the piece of shit that is the indie movie Black Rock.
Yeah. You hate this movie.
This list is ripe with horror movies. This is
This is not a good time to be a horror fan. 2013.
I think it's okay. I know her name now. I didn't in the original movie. I think it's Asselton or Aselton.
Okay.
Katie.
Okay.
And she's Mark Duplass's wife.
Okay.
And Mark Duplass wrote this movie, and it is deliverance on an island with rednecks who are psychotic for no reason. I mean, in Deliverance there was, they were inbred and they were scary and they were kind of deformed and they were just freaky. And you don't know what made them crazy. That's why Deliverance is frightening.
Yeah, exactly.
The scary rednecks of Black Rock are people that they know personally, that just go crazy just from out of nowhere. And the whole movie is them being chased around. And like I said, this movie only made headlines because it has a very memorable full frontal nude scene by the director herself and Lake Bell. Mm-hmm. When they have to do the convenient "let's huddle up because we're cold" thing after they've been in water. They tried to escape through the lake or whatever that was.
Water of some sort. There you go. Good enough.
Yeah, all the characters are annoying. I actually just wanted them all to be killed. Like, I just wanted like a bomb to come and just blow that island up and just kill all of them. And they used Kate Bosworth's name, even though she's... I don't care, I'm going to spoil it. She's killed halfway through.
Wow.
So... Yeah, it's just, the ending actually looks like a ripoff of the ending of A Perfect Getaway.
I was getting ready to say A Perfect Getaway, but I didn't want to appear stupid because I've done that enough in these videos today.
Yeah, A Perfect Getaway is awesome.
It is awesome.
A Perfect Getaway is like a perfect thriller.
Steve Zahn...
Even if the ending was predictable from the trailer, still, the execution of it was
Why don't you do yourself a favor? Go out and get yourself DVDs. Go watch That Thing You Do, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then A Perfect Getaway. And you see 3 different versions of Steve Zahn.
Throw Daddy Daycare.
Yeah, no lie. And Perfect Getaway is where I believe that I found the casting if WWE ever wanted to make, or someone, an independent film company, ever wanted to make a Chris Benoit movie. Like turn Ring of Hell, then the book into, the novelization into that movie. It would be Steve Zahn as Chris Benoit. And I've been thinking that for a long time. So yeah, there's always that. So yeah. My number 4 is going to give me a lot of heat. I don't really give a damn, to be totally honest. I don't like this movie. I don't like any of the movies. I didn't see the second one. There's a reason I didn't see the second one. I'm going to say my number 4 is The Hangover Part 3. Here's the reason why. Okay, number 1, I don't like this movie. Number 2, I hate Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong is not funny. Not funny at all. It was entertaining to watch him die in Transformers. So, I think it was Transformers, wasn't it?
Yeah, Darker Than Moon.
Okay, good. I want to make sure I got that right, because I don't want to screw up anymore. For the rest of this video, at least. Okay. I hate The Hangover. Circumstance makes me really not like these movies. You want to watch a really good hangover movie? Watch Very Bad Things, honestly. That's really good, and it's smartly written, and it's got a lot better cast. But then again, I mean, you got Bradley Cooper, and Bradley Cooper's good. Bradley Cooper's great, actually, now. I've become a bigger fan of Bradley Cooper because of stuff like this. Not this, but obviously stuff like Limitless and Silver Linings Playbook made me a real big fan of Bradley Cooper. That and The Place Beyond the Pines. So I became a Bradley Cooper fan. Ed Helms I could take or give. Take or leave, long day. He's okay. He's getting a lot better than me. I love Cedar Rapids. Jeffrey Lives at Home was amazing. And, I really, really like the Lorax, to be totally honest. I get a lot of crap for that, but I liked Lorax. I don't like these movies. They're rehashes of everything else. John Goodman's great in it. I'll say that right now. John Goodman is my MVP of that movie without question. He's not in it as nearly as much as he could be, but he's there. I hate these movies. I have a personal vendetta towards these movies. It's a personal thing. I'm not talking about it for any reason. But I will say right now that I don't like these movies. I don't think they're funny. I think they're very, very overrated. I think Zach Galifianakis is one of the most overrated people in the world, and that was coming from someone that used to enjoy stand-up, kind of like everybody in the world like jumped on the Dane Cook bandwagon back when no one knew who he was. I don't like the movie at all. I mean, like I said, John Goodman is awesome in it. I will say that. I did laugh at the John Goodman parts, and even throw Melissa McCarthy in there, that makes it like too many bads do not equal a good movie. So yeah, my number 4 is The Hangover Part 3.
I thought Hangover 3 was fine.
I know you did. But you should commend me for the fact that I didn't make it number 1, and I easily could have.
Yeah, that would have been overkill.
I didn't though.
Alright.
I didn't put the Heat on this list either.
Speaking of the Heat, let's talk about how great Marlon Wayans is, and his family.
Yeah.
Marlon, Sean, and Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Yes.
Who created A Living Color.
Yes.
Brought the spoof back with Scary Movie.
Indeed.
And the first Scary Movie is hilarious.
Yes, it
and
is.
unlike most people, I think the second and third are even funny.
Yeah, they're good.
The fourth had its moments, but it was starting to run out of gas. They rape and murder all 4 of the other ones. With my number 3, which is Scary Movie 5.
We'll talk about Scary Movie in a minute.
You know those Jason Freeberg and Aaron Seltzer movies?
Oh, I hate those movies.
Like Epic Movie and Meet the Spartans and Disaster Movie.
A shiver. I like Date Movie, but that's a personal thing.
You would think Scary Movie 5 was made by them.
Yes, you would. And I think it was ghost-written by them.
Well, here's the thing: is apparently they got a hold of like reviews or a script or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the entirety of the Evil Dead remake is spoofed in one scene of Scary Movie 5.
Yeah, no lie.
Scary Movie 5 came out the weekend after the Evil Dead remake.
We talked about this during the review too.
And the same thing went for another movie. They did another movie really close. Oh, yeah. Mama. They went back. Okay, here's the thing. This is how much Scary Movie 5 wasted time and money. They started shooting, I think, in September of 2012.
Correct.
And they shot all the way to December. And they pretty much had a whole thing that was a spoof of Black Swan.
Yes.
The Black Swan thing was whittled down to like...
couple scenes.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
And all that money and all that time they used, they scrapped almost everything and turned the whole... In January, Mama came out.
Yep.
And they saw Mama. And they decided to completely scrap almost everything that was in Scary Movie 5 and make it a spoof of Mama instead of Black Swan.
Mama's good, by the way.
Yeah, it's alright. And, it's just this... The movie's what? An hour and 20 minutes.
That's too long.
About 15 minutes of that is credits.
Yeah.
About 20 minutes of that is Simon Rex getting the shit beat out of him one way or another.
Yep.
And the rest is copying exact dialogue from other movies.
Oh, yeah.
Or referencing movies for no reason. Like they're at they go to that cabin in the woods, and I guess it's kind of a funny joke. Where the guy says, look, it's like that movie where there's a cabin in the woods, which of course he's referring to fucking Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
But Snoop Dogg says, like, oh, you mean Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Oh, you mean Evil Dead? And the guy's like, no, the other movie. But then, the mama thing starts to happen, and they run out of the house, and Snoop Dogg yells, whoa, it's like 0 Dark 30 in this bitch, which makes no sense.
None. Not at all. And I
Is
think...
he referring to the raid?
Maybe.
In 0 Dark 30? I don't know.
It's funny because I think we're the only people in that entire theater that got that reference.
Oh, yeah.
I almost guarantee that's true.
There was barely anybody in there because nobody gave a shit about this movie, thankfully.
No.
But yeah, this movie just wasted everything. For some reason, actually, there's quite a big chunk of it that's a spoof of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
No, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn's another one.
Yeah.
So...
It's bad. We'll talk about Scary Movie in a minute, but I have a number 3 for you guys. Oh my god, this movie's bad. Broken City.
Oh, yeah.
Russell Crowe, who is definitely on my hit list for the rest of his life, apparently. Dude's brought it this last several months. I loved him in Les Mis. I really, really liked him in Les Mis, even though I know most people, like, totally, like, skipped on him. But,
yeah, I mean, I know I always call out people, but...
Yeah.
You know, if you're one of those people that's still complaining about Russell Crowe singing, boys, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. You have a hat, you know what to do with it. So, basically, Russell Crowe's awesome in this movie.
Man of Steel, don't forget.
Yeah, Russell Crowe's great in Man of Steel as well. I really wish I could have brought up Man of Steel yesterday, but I wasn't able to. Today. Sorry, time travel. So, I wasn't able to bring it up, but I wanted to. But, yeah, Russell Crowe is actually, like, hitting it out of the park right now, and he's really great in Broken City. He is the only good thing about Broken City. This movie is so disjointed and so many corrupt people. And, I mean, he's a corrupt, like, was it mayor, I believe, or police commissioner or something like that?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's just bad, so stay away from it. It's not good, so my number 3 is Broken City. We'll go that, we'll make it easier that way. Number 2.
Alright, my number 2 is Identity Thief, which everybody loves.
Yeah.
Because everybody loves McCarthy.
Yes, everyone absolutely loves McCarthy.
People would... If Melissa McCarthy told them to go jump off a cliff, they would do it laughing.
They've already done it.
But they just... I mean, like I said, I'm not going to do the Rex Reed thing and attack her personally because it's not really fat jokes.
No.
It's just, dumb shit.
It's not funny.
Like, they go for gross out stuff, they go for, a bunch of physical humor, and it's just... Robert Patrick plays a guy that's after her and trying to kill her, and I wanted Robert Patrick to succeed.
Exactly.
Just everything that I don't like about overrated comedy is in this movie. And, it's nothing against Jason Bateman.
No.
He's just...
He's there.
There's just... I can't even remember this... I was sick when I saw this movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of...
We made a joke that it literally made him sick. So.
It's kind of vague to me now.
Yeah.
But, the beginning, she projectile vomits on a cop, which I'm guessing is only because they couldn't think of anything else funny for her to do. The trailer actually played out this way. She literally just makes faces and noises into the camera like she's entertaining a baby.
Yeah.
And the audience will eat it up. Yeah. And that's the kind of movie it is the whole time.
Well,
like if they had gone like, imagine if they had gotten like some dramatic actress to play that part, to like go against type, and it was that kind of movie. That would have been interesting.
Maybe.
But no.
Anybody but McCarthy.
Yeah. The fact that I find her extremely unappealing did this movie no favors, and I think that was its end.
Number 2. My number 2 is Scary Movie 5.
Which we pretty much already dissected.
I love Ashley Tisdale. I'll say that right now. I do. But, God, she needs to start picking better roles. Unlike Selena Gomez, who actually did something with herself this year with Spring Breakers. And that other movie that's coming out later this year, I don't remember what the title of it is. It's a one-word title. Do you remember?
Getaway.
Getaway, that's it. Yeah.
With Ethan Hawke.
With Ethan Hawke, exactly. Ashley Tisdale is going nowhere fast. I mean, she did Aliens in the Attic, which was not really good at all. I mean, at all. She did a lot of, like, straight-to-DVD stuff. I mean, she probably should stick to the High School Musical stuff, to be totally honest. But, basically, because that's what she's good in. Yeah, I hate Scary Movie 5. It's not good. So, yeah, we talked about it for a long time. So, yeah, that's it. There's no need to talk about it anymore. Sorry.
All right.
AJ, what's your number 1 worst movie of 2013 so far?
It was a festival hit that actually a lot of people loved.
Yeah, I know exactly where this is going. He hates this guy. That's no lie.
The worst movie of the year right now is a small... I guess it's horror. I don't know.
Yep.
It's John Dies at the End.
Yep.
I wish I had died at the beginning.
AJ dies at the beginning. John dies at the end.
It's
Credits.
one of those. The director of Phantasm did it.
That's bizarre.
Which is, like this landmark horror movie.
Yeah.
And he also did Bubba Hotep with Bruce Campbell, which I think is overrated.
I know a lot of people like that.
But
movie.
it wasn't, ad like this.
Yeah.
This is a movie that I would think some pretentious internet gore nerds would make in their backyard with their best friends. And, watch on occasion. But people, it's so basking in itself. They think they're so smart and they think they're so clever and creative, but this shit makes no sense.
Okay.
And I don't even think it would make sense to them. If you were to ask them to explain what the fuck is happening in this movie, I don't think they could tell you.
Probably not.
They just do shit for the sake of being weird, and it's really gruesome and disgusting. And they have Paul Giamatti in it, and they have Clancy Brown, who's a great actor, but he's best known for he's the villain in Highlander. He's the voice of Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob. And they get
what a great
Giamatti's just this. He's just a reporter that the guys relaying the story to. That's all he's there for. And Clancy Brown gets 2 scenes. And they just waste everything. The people in it are nobodies, and they're hopefully going to stay nobodies because they're not appealing at all, much like the rest of the movie. And this movie was just excruciating from beginning to end.
Does John die at the end? And that's the truth?
He dies in the middle, and he keeps coming back. I don't know.
John is drop dead Fred? Wrap your head about that one. So not like Penn and Teller get killed, which is actually just, it's not a spoiler, it's how it happens at the end.
What's your number one?
Number one, something we've already talked about, Identity Thief. I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with it. Yeah, Identity Thief is the worst movie of the year for me right now.
But you haven't seen John Dies at the End.
No, I haven't, so I guess that's probably better that I haven't. I hate Melissa McCarthy with passion. I don't think she's funny. I really enjoy putting under her talents and her performances in movies because I just don't like them. I don't see anything redeemable about her. I think Lisa Lampanelli could do a lot better job, to be totally honest. I mean, I would say so. There's a lot of really great female actresses. Wow, long day. There's a lot of great actresses in the world that could have played this part and didn't. I could not tell you their names off the top of my head, but I know that there's somebody that easily could have played the part better.
I'm just going to stand by what I said. They should have taken somebody against
their cast. Yeah, I totally agree with that. But yeah, so AJ thinks John dies at the end, and I'm all for Identity Thief as the worst movies of 2013 thus far. I don't know if that's going to change or not. There's a lot of crap still coming this year, I'm sure. A lot of crap coming this year. So we will be joining you later today, or like I said, time travel. Later, we're done, thankfully. We'll be joining you for our most anticipated movies. That's the final video of this 3-part series to commemorate the second long day 2-month anniversary of Pop. So that's going to be the end. So hope you guys and girls out there enjoyed this video, and you'll go back and watch the best video, watch this video, watch our most anticipated video, and until at the end of the year, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.